Against all the odds, Floyd Mayweather's NASCAR team, the Money Team, appears to be an actual thing. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. I hope you've had a fantastic week. It's been a few days since we caught up on NASCAR news, but there's a huge story going around today that we're going to react to in just a moment. Later this week, I will give you guys my way too early 2022 playoff predictions. I've been working very hard on that video. I'm taking my predictions very, very seriously. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that button down below so you don't miss that video or any upcoming NASCAR related content. Got big plans for Out of the Groove in 2022. I hope you guys are here to be a part of it. The big story I want to react to today, Adam Stern from Sports Business Journal reported earlier this afternoon that the Money Team Racing, the long aspiring NASCAR team affiliated with Floyd Mayweather, is working to try to finalize a deal to enter next month's Daytona 500 as its first race. The team has secured a car, sponsor, and Kaz Grala, so it appears close to an announcement. Is this a dream? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like storming outside. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but the gods are stunned by this announcement. The Money Team may be a legitimate thing. We might see the Money Team on track in a month. Wow. Now, before we go any further, I do want to give a shout out to fellow YouTuber David Land. Looks like he caught wind of this yesterday, and actually Kaz Grala, I saw, liked this tweet. And David tweeted again today that essentially this team is the ghost of Starcom and will be using Hendrick engines, which makes a ton of sense. Starcom had a next-gen car. We saw them in some of the early tests, and we all wondered, why do they have a next-gen? We knew they had sold their charter. They weren't going to be racing in 2022. Clearly, somebody was lined up to buy that next-gen chassis. It looks like we know who that person, that team, likely was. The Money Team. They're a real thing. I still can't get over that. Hit me like a ton of bricks. We first heard about the Money Team more than 2 years ago, like mid to late 2019. It was unclear at the time, and it still is somewhat unclear according to reports, just how close to the real Floyd Mayweather this team is. There were some reports that they were just paying to use the Money Team style branding, but there's also reports that Floyd Mayweather is somewhat involved, like a co-owner. He might actually have something invested in this organization, in this group, in this race team. Either way, Floyd Mayweather, I don't watch boxing, I don't know anything about it, but I know his name. He's one of the most high-profile boxers of the most recent generation. I know they were running the 50 car in their initial promotional photos and stuff that people saw going around a couple years ago to represent Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 undefeated boxing record. I appreciate a good theme when I see one, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, we haven't heard much from this team over the last couple of years. I remember in early 2020, March of 2020, they put this tweet out, a little video showing a very flashy The Money Team Racing logo, but that was about it. They put out a statement back when NASCAR announced their ban on Confederate flags. But if you go to their Twitter account now, that little video I just showed you is the only tweet, the only thing on their Money Team Twitter account. There was a report in late 2020 that the team was in negotiations with Spire and that they might partner with Spire Motorsports to help facilitate their entrance into the NASCAR Cup Series, but obviously we haven't heard anything about that since then, and it's been over a year. I have no idea if Spire is at all involved with the Money Team's latest efforts. Right now, if you go to the Money Team's website, all you see is their logo once again with the words, "coming soon." Now, I have no idea how long their website has looked like that, if it's just started saying that in the last few days, few weeks, or if it's looked like that for 2 years. I have no idea. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's what's going on. My reaction, I mean, if it's real, if the Money Team has an actual car, which it sounds like they do, if they have a sponsor, which it sounds like they do, and if they have a driver, Kaz Grala, legitimate race car driver, he's made Cup Series starts in recent years. Assuming all that is true, which I have no reason to doubt Adam Stern, welcome. Welcome, the Money Team. No idea who's running that operation, don't know who the people are, don't know who the group is behind it, but if they're a legitimate NASCAR team, if they have a car, they have the means to compete in the Cup Series, I welcome them. I welcome them to this year's Daytona 500. They'll likely have to race their way in. We'll talk about that more in a moment, but the more the merrier, in my opinion. I mean, we want deeper fields in the Cup Series. I don't expect the Money Team to be a super competitive car. Maybe at the super speedways, at Daytona, they could survive, hang with the lead draft. But regardless, it's good to see interest from other team owners, other teams wanting to get into the sport, even those who were unable or are unable to obtain a charter. There's still interest interest in competing in at least the sport's biggest race. I'm also happy for Kaz Grala. He's made a few Cup Series starts. He's a good road course racer. He's shown his strength there in recent years, but last year he made 3 starts, all on super speedways for Kaulig, was involved in a crash in 2 of the 3, but in the one race he made it to the finish in, Talladega in the spring, he finished 6th. He's a good young racer. Cool to see him get some extra seat time. Hopefully the money team is a legitimate enough operation that the check's all clear and it's a worthwhile experience for him. NASCAR certainly has a history of team owners just kind of popping up out of nowhere and then disappearing without a trace. And anyway, things can get shady pretty fast. It sounds like this is a legit deal. They have an actual sponsor, and at least as of now, it sounds like it's just one race. So worst comes to worst, not like you're committing your entire year to this team. Now, as you can clearly tell, I'm shocked to hear that the money team is actually happening. That sounds like they are very close to running on a NASCAR racetrack in NASCAR competition. Now, will they qualify for the Daytona 500? Will they make the show? Will they be in automatically? Are there even enough cars to fill out the 40-car field? We know the 36 charter teams will be there, obviously, but those are 4 other spots. Do we have 4 open teams, especially this year, with an all-new car, the next-gen car, a car that's already seeing some supply chain issues with charter teams having a hard time getting all the parts and pieces they need in a timely fashion? Could we see a slightly reduced Daytona 500 field this year? Will the money team be locked in from the get-go? It doesn't appear, at least, as though that will be the case. As things sit right now, assuming the money team is legit, we're at 40 cars. 40 confirmed cars for the Daytona 500, but there's at least one other team that's had some rumblings in recent weeks that could also end up on the entry list. I'm talking about NY Racing, New York Racing, another somewhat mythical team that nobody's really talked about in the last couple of years, but they keep popping up every now and again. It sounds like they're trying to mount a Daytona 500 entry. Beard Motorsports with Noah Gragson will be on the entry list. MBM Motorsports, of course, I don't think they've announced their driver. Could be Timmy Hill, could be somebody else. They'll be on the entry list. Team Heseberg, of course, with Jacques Villeneuve will be on the entry list as well. Former F1 champion, former Indy 500 champion will be competing in the Daytona 500, or at least will be attempting to qualify for it. Then you got the money team with Kaz Grala. That makes 40. That is a full field. That means nobody would be going home in the dual races. Now, NY Racing enters, if another team pops up out of left field in the next month, then somebody will have to go home. There will be at least one car that does not make the show. The money team, touting their 50-0 undefeated boxing record, will be under some pressure to at least make the show and keep their sort of winning streak alive, because quite honestly, making the Daytona 500, just getting to the racetrack would be a win for the money team at this point. We'll see what happens. This is not the first time that it's been reported that the money team was close to finalizing a deal to get back on the racetrack. This does seem to be the most credible, not the most credible as far as who it's coming from. Adam Stern, we know, is a great reporter, but he's talked about the money team in years past. It's the most credible in that the most details have been provided. I mentioned Kaz Grala liking David Land's tweet on this topic. I mentioned, even in Adam Stern's tweet, he specifies that a sponsor has been found, a car has been found. Those are very important specifics that had not previously been prevalent in other reports. So it looks like the money team is happening. At this point, I actually will be surprised if they don't show up to the track in February. A week ago, it would have said it was impossible. Today, I'd say it seems to be the likely course of action. My goodness. I don't know what to make of it. Again, I don't know how involved Floyd Mayweather is. NASCAR's had a sudden influx of celebrity team owners between Michael Jordan, Pitbull. Throw Floyd Mayweather into the mix. I mean, that'd be cool. Again, I don't know if Floyd Mayweather will be at the track. I don't know that he'll be hands-on at all with the team. Again, I'm not even 100% convinced he knows this team is a thing or is aware of their plans. And again, I also don't watch boxing. I do not keep up with the sport at all, but I know Floyd Mayweather is an international superstar. I always like to look at the marketing side of things, and I think that would be huge for NASCAR. If Floyd Mayweather himself is involved, it would be enormous for NASCAR to potentially leverage that to reach new or different audiences. But even if Floyd Mayweather's not directly involved, at least now there's a somewhat recognizable name on the entry list every week, or at least the weeks that they are able to enter. I don't know, it sounds like a one-off, but this was such a shocking development considering the roller coaster, and not even a roller coaster the last 2 years. It's been like a flat ride. It's been like the teacups at Disneyland, just a flat ride, no ebbs and flows, just going in a circle, nothing happening. A roller coaster, there's peaks and valleys, there's momentum there, and not the teacups. There, it's just spinning in a circle. That's what the money team has been for the last 2 years. Nothing really developing until now. They've hit the bottom of the lift hill. We'll see if they reach the top come Daytona weekend. Or week. I'm sorry, Speed Week. Daytona 500 is a week-long, basically a week-long deal under the current schedule. We'll see if they arrive. Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Were you shocked to hear the money team's name come up as a legitimate Daytona 500 entry? Do you think we'll get more than 40 cars in this year's Daytona 500? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I look forward to reading them. That's gonna do it for today's pretty quick pit stop of an episode. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We talk NASCAR day in, day out here on Out of the Groove every single week. As always, a big thank you to my amazing Patreon supporters as well. I've got a lot of travel plans coming up. Gonna be going to a lot of races the first third of this season. It wouldn't be possible without your tremendous support. I hope you guys enjoy the content I produce while I'm out on the road. Greatly appreciate your support. We'll be back again later this week. I've got my 2022 predictions as well as some other stories that I'll want to cover in the meantime. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care, y'all.